guys, welcome to the channel Ratan IT. So in the last session of Jenkins Part 1, we have discussed about what is Jenkins, what is continuous integration, and why we are using Jenkins, and we discussed a bit of DevOps. And I hope you guys remember I discussed these figures. You remember from development to test, from test to deploy, how it is going to occur one by one, bit by bit. So I have discussed this entire thing, and apart from that, I have discussed about the infinity life cycle of the software industry. It's not, but for a particular application when it is under test, how we are developing this. So we have discussed these things, right? I hope you guys remember these things. Now guys, so apart from that, now today we are going to discuss about more in depth of about so in this that these things also we have discussed in the last sessions. So this is about the last sessions. So today we are going to discuss the more depth about Jenkins. So what is Jenkins, and what is the system requirements for the Jenkins, and like from which, I mean, from where you can download the Jenkins, and like what will be the system requirements of the Jenkins, and what are the necessary things to run particular Jenkins. Necessary things in the sense, when I'm talking about necessary things, is what are the system requirements, how much RAM you require, what is the technologies you require, and what is the programming language you require. Then you need to set up a particular server for that. So from where you will get a free server, because server is also going to be priced, right? So those things, and after that how to run, and what is the basic necessity, like then setup of that. Then we'll see what are the system things we require for this. Basic things we'll see about the Jenkins. So let's start like how to go with it. So guys, so when I'm talking about Jenkins, in the last session I already told you that. So I think we went about, in the last session we discussed what is Jenkins, and I told that Jenkins is something known as a, I told that is used for like, it is used for continuous integration. It is used for continuous integration. Now, apart from the continuous integration, it is used for continuous integration. Apart from that, I told you that it is used for continuous delivery, delivery of software application. Continuous delivery of software application. So basically guys, Jenkins will be installed, where should be installed, because we are installing it somewhere, right? Can you install it in, when I'm saying that regardless of any, regardless of any software you guys will use or any platform you will use, you can use Jenkins. Last class I told you, right? You can use in Windows, Linux, or Ubuntu. But actually, can you run in top of Windows, Ubuntu? No, guys. You need a server to run. You need a server to run Jenkins. You need a server to run Jenkins. So when I'm saying you need a server to run Jenkins, now my question is what kind of server you need to run a Jenkins. Clear? So basically guys, when I'm saying you need a server to run Jenkins, so here we will use Apache Tomcat server. Now you guys must be thinking why we're using Apache Tomcat server, why not other? So we will discuss about that. Prior to that, let me open the paint and we'll discuss the flow of the Jenkins. Clear? So what is the first step for using a Jenkins? The first step of using a Jenkins, I told you, is that first the development, right? Means what will happen is here developers check their source code. Developers check their source code. Developers check their source code. Here, okay, let me first draw this figure, then I will explain you. Check, what do you mean by check their source code? What is what? I will let you know, guys. Just let me first draw these figures. Next, after this one, what is the second one? The second one will be, okay, let me pull it out. Next one will be, it will be Jenkins will pick up Jenkins will the pick up the change changes or changed code changes or change codes and trigger a build and run any test if required. Getting my point? So this is the thing how it will happen. Next thing is, okay, I think I need to decrease the size of this page so that I can get more clarity. Yeah. Okay. So the next thing will be the build output will be available. Okay guys, let me now increase the font so that easy so that you guys will get it. Will be available in the Jenkins dashboard. So let me okay. What I should do is that how I can fetch this data is, let me open this Word file. Right, let it be. We will see this afterwards. Let me go to the system requirements for the Jenkins. So what are the system requirements for the Jenkins? We will see. Guys, remember one thing. Before I start about the system requirements, what are the prerequisites? First of all, you should know what are the prerequisites for running the Jenkins. First thing is you should know Java. Java is a prerequisite for running of Jenkins, and that's to you need JDK, and the versioning of JDK should be from 1.5 and above. 1.5 and above. And apart from that, so apart from the JDK, you should know the memory space. So this will be JDK 1.5 and above. You know that currently we are using JDK 1.9. So but you should not use the Java version less than 1.5, otherwise your code will not work. And when I'm saying you are using JDK 1.5, you need to know the system requirement, the settings, how you set the Java. You should download the Java and you should set it in a file. So prior to that, let me go and let me show you how you are going to install that. First of all, you should go to, so here just open Chrome and type here Java download 1.8. If you want to use 1.8, if you want to use 1.9 or something, if you want whatever you want to use, just use it and just click enter. What will happen is, okay, I don't want to open it here, I want to open in Google. So open Google go to Google, then search for JDK 1.9, click enter. So now it belongs to Oracle, right? Earlier, all of you know that it belongs to Sun Microsystems. Now it belongs to Oracle. Clear, right? Now the thing is that what will happen is, so you can do whatever you want to do. Just scroll it down. Here you will get Java SE Development Kit 8U161. Click on here, accept license agreement. After clicking on here, thank you for accepting. If you click disagree, you cannot download. You need to click agree. Then based upon system requirement, you can download. How you can get to know the system requirements? It's your system requirement, you should know, right? Otherwise, if you don't know, what you need to do is that click on this Windows and then click on this folder options, then go to this PC, do a right click on properties. In the properties, you can get to know this is a 64-bit operating system and cross 64 processor, and this is Windows 8, right? So what I will do is that back to this pavilion, then Windows cross 64, not Solaris, not Mac. For the Mac, you can use, I told you, right? Linux folks can use, Mac folks can use, Solaris folks can use, Windows folks can use. So Windows cross 64, this is 206.51 MB. Click in here. After you click in here, it got downloaded, right? So see here, it's getting downloaded. Actually, this is already been in my system. And after you download, what you need to do is that first check that is your system in your system is Java is downloaded or not. How you can check it? Let it be downloaded. Let you can get to know. So if it is installed on your system or not, how you can check prior to download? Don't download first. First check it if it is present or not. Click on Windows and otherwise click on Windows, then search for CMD. CMD means command prompt. Hit enter. In the command prompt, it showing uses slash Java, right? You should have to write Java space, give a dash, then write VERSION version, hit enter. So it is showing me that Java version 1.8.0 underscore 151. So, and this is my 64-bit operating system, right? So in this way, you can check that your Java has been installed successfully. So remember one thing, if Java is not present in your system, it will throw that, it will throw an error kind of that Java is not being recognized as an internal or external command. Getting my point, guys? So it will throw a error like that. So what you need to do that time is don't be panic. Just download Java as it is from here. After you download Java, what you need to do is that let it download. I will show you guys what you need to do. Just wait for a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Great. Now my Java has been downloaded from my system. So just click on here, go so folder, go to the particular folder where the Java is present. Great. So here I have installed earlier and downloaded. So I have sorted to my earlier batches. So just double click over here. So when you double click over there, what happens is it asks for yes. As I have already installed, I am not going to install it again. So what I will do is I will clicking no. So in those systems, Java is not there. You should click yes. Clear? So I am clicking here no. So after that, your Java will be installed. Click install, install, install. Your Java will be installed. After you install, so you need to write yes and then install, okay, apply and all. So Java will be successfully installed within few minutes. After your Java will be installed, click on C drive, local drive C. After you click on local drive C, see based upon your program file settings, because this is my 64-bit operating system, right? I showed you how to see the what is the bit of the operating system. You need to click on this PC, click on for properties, and in this case here, this is 64-bit operating system. You can get to know this is 64-bit operating system. Great. So this is the way you should know how many bit of operating system it is. Here, now close this one. After you close this one, you can go to the program files dot cross 86 or cross only program files. Which one you will choose? Correct. You will choose only program files, not program files cross 86. So program files cross 86, it is a 32-bit operating system. But I have, according to my computer settings and computer requirements, I have downloaded. Which one I have downloaded? Let's see again. I have downloaded this one with Windows cross 64. I have downloaded, right? If I would have downloaded Windows Cross 86 means those who are using Windows 32-bit system, clear, those who are using Windows 32-bit system, they should have downloaded Windows Cross 86. But as I am using as Windows 64-bit and maximum of you are using Windows 64-bit, Cross 64, you would be selecting this. Double click on this one, program files, then see Java will be present. After installation, Java will be automatically present over here. Double click over here. You will get to know that JDK and JRE both will be installed successfully on your system. So guys, prior to go with the Jenkins, I should suggest that you should have a basic knowledge on Java. What is JDK, what is JRE, what is JVM, and few knowledge on core Java like polymorphism, then inheritance, abstraction, loops, concepts, or you can talk about few basics of collections. You should have a basic knowledge in this thing to go with good about Jenkins. Sure. Now, here I'm talking about JDK, so Java Development Kit, JRE, Java Runtime Environment. Inside the JDK, you will get again one JRE, so JRE is present. So next, what you should do now? Now, the second step is remember. First, so what is the first step? Let me write the steps one by one so that it will be easy for you. Clear? So let me write over here. So for Java installation, I'm not going to repeat this thing again, guys. When I'm going to installation for Jenkins, so I'm explaining over here. I'm not going to install it again. So Java installation. What you guys did, the first step is download, download Java, download Java and install that. Download Java and install that. From where you are downloading the Java? You are downloading the Java, my bad, from this particular URL. Control C. So from this particular URL, you are downloading your Java. So this is the URL that you are using for downloading Java. http://www.oracle.com/techwork technetwork/java/java se /download/jdk8 dash downloads dash 2133151.html. So these numbers basically vary from like Java 7 or Java 8 or Java 9, whichever you want to download, you can get it from here. Clear, guys? Now this is the URL, just note it down. So you guys can note it down, this particular URL. So from this URL you can download the Java. Great. So after downloading Java, what you need to do is that second step is double click on the software. Double click on the Java software, or not Java software, or Java. So .exe file, what we got Java exe file, in the sense I am talking about in the downloads. In the downloads you can get to know that here you got Java, right? Selenium, see, this is the Java JDK cross 64 what you have got. So these things you got, right? So I'm copying this name, so double click on this one, or I'm giving this one. Just double click on this one. After you double click on this one, guys, I'm telling you again and again that if you need these notes, or if you need these steps, if you need any other material, you can always reach out to me at worktestingbug@gmail.com. Or if you need any online classes, if you need any online classes, or if you need any kind of study material, video sessions, interview questions, you are preparing for the interview, you want to discuss some interview questions, you can always reach out to me at this particular thing. Clear? So this is what it is all about. So just download and install this one, then double click on the Java software, or java.exe. So from this one double click on there, and then click on click on next. So it will automatically, it will come next and all things. This will come automatically. Click on next, and then you click on install. Click on next, and then you can click on install. So after that, what will happen is click connections, then install. After that, so your install should be present installed, right? Then open your folder, C drive folder. Open your C drive folder. Open your C drive folder. In the C drive folder, go to the where you go. You go to the program files. Go to the program files, and in the program files, you should go to the program files. Depend upon your based upon your. I told you, right? Based upon your system requirements. Based upon your system requirements, is it a 32-bit system or it is like a 64-bit system? So based upon your system, you should open your C drive and check whether it is present or not. After it is present over there, check that it has been successfully installed. See, that is the first thing, that first verification is that it is been down installed on your system. Second verification is that it has been mixed with your system or not. But how can you do? Open command prompt, open cmd, open command prompt, and you need to enter, you need to write something. What you will write over there? Java space dash version. Just run this command, java dash space version, and hit enter. And not full stop. Sorry guys, so here I have done a mistake. Don't give a full stop. Java space dash version, and then click enter. Then hit enter. Not click, obviously nothing is there to click. You need to hit enter. Yeah, after you hit enter, it will show a result. An output will come, and output will be generated. What is the output? Let's see what is the output it is showing us. We can copy and we can use that output. So you need to write java dash space dash your writing version and hit enter. So output will come as like this. You can write java version something, java version tm, so as java dash version tm. Then inside the double quotes, your version will be there. Let's say it is a 1.8.161 version. Whatever the version will be, it will be present. And if, remember guys, if java has not been installed successfully, if java is not being installed successfully, then what it will throw? It will throw an error. That what the error it will throw? It will throw an error that java is not being read as internal or external command. Java is not being read as an internal and external command. Getting my point? Then what next? So how to make it correct? So you must be thinking that like I have installed Java, and after installation I have downloaded Java, I have installed Java, then also it is not working. Yes, sometimes it may occur that after download, after install also it will not work. Then what you need to do? What you can do is next, the seventh statement. What you can do is that time is open the open this program files based upon the system requirements. What it is, I'm copying the same thing again. You need to open the program files again. Open the program files based upon the system settings, and then eighth line is copy copy the copy the link, or copy the path of the bin folder. copy the path of the bin folder. Okay, now how to do that? Let me show you. So go to here on openings. I'm sorry. Opening C drive, then program files, then go to the Java. After going to the Java, click on JDK. Here bin is there, right? Double click on bin. After you double click on bin, select this path. After you select this path, so I'm showing you again. Go to the C drive, clear? And double click on the program files. So as it is 64-bit, 32-bit, I showed you how to see, right? In the this PC, right click properties and here 64-bit operating system. Based upon this Windows 8, so program files is there. Double click on this program files. After you double click on the program files, what you need to do is that double click on the Java. Then you need to double click on JDK 1.8.0 underscore 151. Then you have bin, right? Double click on the bin. Then click on this particular link. Then Control C. Here you have copied this particular path of the location, correct? Because okay, why this is necessary? Because I am going to copy this, and let me proceed, then I will explain why this is necessary. Then what you need to do is that after you copy this one, then right click on this PC, then click on the properties. So after you click on the properties, what you need to do is that click on the advanced system settings, then click on the environmental variables. Here environmental variables is there, right? Click on the environmental variables. Then see here. I have created here Java underscore home. You need to click here new, and you need to write Java underscore home, Java underscore home, and here you need to paste this particular URL. So I'm not going to do that as I have already done that. So like this, you need to set up a path here Java underscore home. Is it gone? Oh god, I think it's gone. Anyway, here also you can set, here you have a path, right? Click on the path, click on edit. Here you have JDK underscore C bin is there, right? So that's why, and no need to do it again because already it has been set over here. So now check in the command prompt. Just run the particular statement 197, right? Here enter, see it's running. Great. So after that, you just need to click apply, then OK again. After that, it would be set. Clear? So let me search, try it again. If anything mismatch or not. Great, it is there. Clear? Getting my point? So this is the path you need to set, and just give a backspace. Copy this statement, Control C. You need to copy the path similarly, in a similar fashion. Go to the properties, go to the advanced system settings, go to the environmental variables. Then here, click on new Java path, Java underscore home, and you can set it. Let me set it Java underscore home. Control V. You need to set it, then click on OK, click on OK, click on OK. Great. Now it's done. Your system is ready for Java. Now you can use Java as n number of times you can use it. So I hope you guys got to know how to install Java, right? So this is the way you should install Java. Next, so let me write this statement over here. Okay, this one. Okay, actually I'm copying this particular thing right from here. Let me see, I can copy this thing or not. No, it's not copying, guys. Okay, I think I can cut it down from here. Yeah, so I guess you can see it from here. Great, thank God. So this is the flow chart. You can say this is the flow chart of a Jenkins. So this is the flow chart of Jenkins. we'll see this afterwards, but let me complete the Java part first. The copy the path of the bin folder, and ninth one is um, open the environmental variables. Open the environmental variables, and the tenth part is after you open the environmental variables, click on new, and after click on new, then add the path on the name of Java, on the name of Java underscore home. Clear guys? So this is the thing you guys have to do. This is a complete step of Java installation. So I hope this sample will be very much easy. Let me save this one on it in document. Let's say Java installation. So guys, if you need these kind of like earlier also files or these files, then you can always just ping me, just send me a mail on my registered email ID what I have showed you guys. Just drop me a mail on that. Just drop me a mail on my registered email ID, worktestingbug@gmail.com. I will share you these notes or any other videos if you want. Great. Now, this is all about Java installation. So this is the first requirement for the Jenkins has been completed. So let's see what is the second requirement is talking about. The second requirement is the memory space. The memory space. For running of the Jenkins, you should have at least 2 GB RAM. You should have at least 2 GB RAM for running of the Jenkins. So at least you should have a 2 GB RAM for running of the Jenkins. So how to get it like means how can you get to know that which 2 GB RAM you're talking about? How you can get to know? So what you need to do is over here. What you know? Okay, how can you know that you are using a 2 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, 5 GB RAM, or what is the RAM you are using? In a similar fashion as I showed you earlier also, right click on this PC, click on properties over here. After clicking properties over here, you can see that it should show over here. So see here it is showing installed memory RAM is 4 GB. So that means my system is enabled so I can work with it. Because some old systems now every system comes with at least 8 GB of RAM, or if you are working for the past, like if your laptop or computer is near about 5 6 years old, then it will have 4 GB, more older than 2 GB. But if you're using very old system, then it will contain 1 GB or 6 MB of RAM. So I guess you cannot work with those systems because those systems will not. So at least you should need 2 GB of RAM, and it is not any kind of installation. This is an like hardware you need to use. So third requirement is the disk space. Disk space means here I'm talking about the memory space, how much memory space you should use. So particularly talking about the requirement, there is no requirements for this one. There is no requirements, and after I'm saying there is no requirements, the next question is why there is no requirements. So there is no requirements because we are running our Jenkins in case of your in case with the help of a server, right? Internet with the help of a server. I'm running my Jenkins, right? Thing is that there is no minimum requirement, because since the thing is that all the builds will be stored on the Jenkins machine, and which is present on your server, right? And it has to be ensured that sufficient disk space is available for the build storage. So for running for Jenkins, you don't need to any build, but the thing is that you should have the disk space for, and you need disk space only for the build storage. Or when I'm saying build storage means here I'm talking about code storage. Clear? Great. So this is all, this is about the disk storage. And what else, what you need more? The next thing you need is the operating system. Correct? Operating system. So what kind of operating system you will require and how can it become helpful, guys? Let's see. Operating system, I told you that you can use in any operating system earlier, right? You can use Windows. Windows, you can talk about, yes, it can work with XP, it can work with Vista, it can work with 7, it can work with 8, it can work with 10. Any operating system for Windows you can use. Then talking about, you can talk about Ubuntu or Ubuntu. I think Ubuntu has one more specification, that is Debian, right? Yeah, Ubuntu or Debian you can use, or you talk about Red Hat, then Fedora. You can use it Red Hat, then Fedora, then Mac, then Linux, any operating system, whatever you want to use, you can use. There is nothing particular as such as the operating system. Okay, so what next? Apart from operating system, what next? The last one. Any guesses? Java container. Yeah, what do you mean by the Java container over here? So when I'm talking something about Java container means the file should run, right? The war file which I will be downloading from the particular server, or a server I should need to run, right? You can use here Tomcat 5. I'm going to use here Tomcat 5 for the running of my Java container. Clear? I'm going to use here Tomcat 5. So this is the specific requirements for the running of Jenkins. So in the Java part 2, so here we are going through whatever things we require. So it is a continuous integration process and continuous delivery of the software. We have went through this. So we need a particular server to run the Jenkins. So and the thing we have studied this, it is a Apache Tomcat server we required to run this particular Jenkins. And the system requirements. So what are the system requirements? First system requirement is Java. For system requirements is Java, that is JDK 1.5 and above you need. And currently, so now actually Java belongs to Oracle, right? You guys know, you should know actually. Java belongs to Oracle. You should know actually these things. Java belongs to Oracle. Currently, they have given 1.9. Earlier, it belongs to Sun Microsystem. Currently, it belongs to Oracle Microsystems. Now, after that, once you're talking about, and the thing is that Java 1.5 and above you need. Currently, we are using Java 9. So these are the installation steps which I have been noted. So the thing is that you can download Java from this URL, and then after that just double click on the java.exe file, then double click next and install. So this is the way you should install the Java. And after the Java will be installed, what you need to do is that just go to the C drive and open the program files, and based upon the system requirements, visual SQL system requirements means you need to hit a right click on your this PC and check the system requirements. Based on the system requirements, open the command prompt and write java dash version. Just run this command, and after you run this command, hit enter, and after that you can get to know if everything is successful. You will get an output as Java version TM, particularly the version what you have installed that will come. If not installed successfully, if not installed successfully, you will get an error message as Java is not read as an internal external command. Then what you need to do is that open the program files based upon your system requirements 32 and 64 bit. Then copy the link of the bin folder, open the environment variables, and then click on the new. Once you click on the new, just paste the path what you have copied from here, and then go with the Java code as a name. And second thing is the memory space. You should need at least of 2 GB RAM. This is, I'm saying at least, guys, not less than that. You should need at least 2 GB RAM for running of Jenkins. And the disk space, there is no minimum disk space for running of Jenkins because Jenkins runs on server. Basically, here we are using Apache Tomcat server or Tomcat 5, which is the latest one. And the disk space which we are going to use, that is the based upon the port storage, where the port will store you are going to store. And operating system, you can use any operating system: Windows, XP, Vista, Linux, 7, 8, 10, Ubuntu, Debian, Red Hat, or any number of Windows system you can use. And this is the Java container we are using, Tomcat 5. Clear? So these are the system requirements. Yes. So what we are discussing earlier, the flowchart of Jenkins. Yes. So here I have drawn a flowchart of Jenkins. First is, what is the first step? The developers check their code, source code. What do you mean by the developers check their source code? Here, when I'm saying that the developers check their source code, let me give a brief explanation about this one. So here, explanation of what? Explanation of Jenkins flowchart. So those guys who have missed earlier, I'm saying this again. So if you guys need this document or any other documents for thing, you can always reach out to me at my personal mail, worktestingbug@gmail.com, and I will be providing you the notes, or the if you need any kind of online classes or anything, you can get it from here. Clear? Next. Explanation of Jenkins flowchart. So the first point about the explanation of Jenkins flowchart is developers. What is that? What you have decided? Developers check their source code. Great. Developers checks their checks their source code. Developers check their source code. So when I'm saying developers checks their source code, what do you mean by developers checks their source code? So developers check the source code means here what happens over here is, so I told you, right? Remember in here, I think I have drawn the figure also. Maybe it has been deleted. No issues. We can discuss. So developers check the source codes means, see guys, I told you there are many developers. Let's say developer one, developer two, developer three, and developer four. They all working on a single project. They're all working on a single project. They're all working on a single project. They're all working on a single project. Great. Now, developer one will take near about 25% of the work and he will start working. Similarly, developer two will take rest 25% of the work and he will start working. Developer three will take again 25% of the work and he will start working. And developer four, he will also take 25% of the work and he will start working. Clear? Now, here my question comes, these four developers takes the code, so or entire program, and they have started working. After that, they need to keep their code in a single repository where they can check in. What do you mean by check in, check out? Let's say in the portion of the code where developer 1 is working, until and unless developer 1 completes his particular work, developer 3 cannot start his, let's say, next second phase of his work, or let's say of his work, or until and unless the first developer complete his work, third developer cannot start his work. It can be present, right? It can be a kind of dependency. Clear? So how can developer 3, so let's say that developer 1 has completed his code. So how can developer 3 will get the code of developer 1? Will developer 1 take the code in the pen drive and he will send it? Or he will copy the code like we used to do in our college days, like when there will be kind of exams? We always do, right? Like when we have in our kind of computer exams about data structure, C++, Java exams, we used to do control A, control C. One guy has wrote the entire piece of code, we used to do copy the code and circulate in the mails of the people. So in software industry, you do like that. No, if you are going to do like that, entire source code, this possibility that entire source code will get deleted. So what you need to do is that you need to maintain some kind of server. What kind of server you are going to maintain then? You are going to maintain some special server known as Git or Bitbucket or certain kind of repository. In those repositories, what you guys need to do is that in those repositories, you guys have to keep their code. Means check in, check out. Check in means deposit your code. So developer 1 after complete will deposit his code. After that, developer 3 will take the code from there to near him. Getting my point? After developer 1 will give his code, developer 3 will take the code from that particular location. From developer 1, developer 3 will take his code and he will start working on it. Are you getting my point? Clear? Next, what is the next step of this one? The next step is, so like this way, this is known as code check-in and check-out. So this is what this is checking. The first step is developers check their source code. Means they will check their source code, means they will keep the source code, keep their code, keep their code in a particular location. They will keep their code in a particular location. This is the first thing. And what is the second thing then? Developers checks their core source code, keep their code in a particular location. This is the first step. Next, what is the second step? Second step is Jenkins will pick up the changes or the changed codes and trigger the build and run the test if required. Next, how Jenkins will work. So let's say this is Jenkins, correct? Let's say this is Jenkins. Let me open the paint once. Great. Let's say this is Jenkins. Okay, I need to give rule, I hope. This is Jenkins, and I asked Jenkins what I will ask Jenkins that. So, what is the in an order of he should work in a particular order, in a symmetrical order? The Jenkins should work. First thing is code. First thing is the code development. The code development. Second thing is, I will say that after the code is developed, I will give you the code to the Jenkins, and Jenkins what it will do? Convert code into artifacts. He will convert the code into artifacts. Third is run the code on where? Run the code over the server. Run the code over the server. Fourth step is after code development done, then convert the code into artifact, then run the code over the server. After they run the code over server, the fourth step will be, what is the fourth step? Run the automation testing. Run the automation testing. After they run the automation testing, what is the fifth point will be? Deploy. Deploy the code in production or generate the report. Yeah, generate the report. This point will be correct. Generate the report. So guys, these 5 steps, what it has been generated based upon the Jenkins, this is called as the jobs. This is called as the jobs. So basically, these things is we are giving the jobs to the Jenkins. This is the kind of jobs we are giving it to Jenkins. So this is the jobs we are giving it to Jenkins. That code is deployed, then convert the code into artifacts, run the code over the server, then generate the report. So these are the jobs we are giving it to the Jenkins. What we are saying it to Jenkins? So we are saying the Jenkins that you should run this one step by step. So these will code development. So okay, code is developed by. You guys think once the code has been developed by whom? Developers, right? Correct. Developers has developed the code. Now convert the code into artifacts. Sorry, yes. So how the Jenkins will get to know how the Jenkins will get the code and he will convert into artifacts. Any idea? You should give the path of the GitHub or the Bamboo to the Jenkins. So from that particular location, Jenkins will take the path and he will start working on that. Clear? Correct. Convert into artifacts. After that, run the code over the server. Run the code means deploy the code over the server. After that, it will run automation testing and generate the report. This is the basic work. So this is what about this talking about. Next, let's see the third and foremost point. The build output will be available in the Jenkins dashboard. Means the output or the generated report will come into the Jenkins dashboard. So we will see in the next class what is full about and all. Let me show you the Jenkins basic means Jenkins URL and how we are talking about Jenkins. So let me show you the website of Jenkins, how it looks like, and what is the particular feature of that. So this is all about the Jenkins. You can go from here. So hello blue ocean. So this is all about the Jenkins, how to run. Basically, you can see the Red Hat, then open source lab, cloud based Microsoft, then Rockspace. So these are the things they using Jenkins basically, and these are the supporters. Means they pay Jenkins huge amount of money. I told you right. Jenkins is open source, but they need to do some promotions from there. Clear? So this is all about today, guys. So prior to that, if you, I hope you guys got today's class right. So let me go with the once again. Okay, just I will go very fast. I will go quickly. So the flowchart of Jenkins is developers check their code. Developer checks the source code, then Jenkins will pick up the changes or changed codes and trigger a build and run any test if required. Then the build output will be available in the Jenkins dashboard. Clear? This is all about Jenkins. So this is the flowchart of Jenkins, what we have studied. The next thing is this is the what this is the flow of the Jenkins. The Jenkins, how Jenkins work internally, the code will be developed, the code developers then convert the code into artifacts, run the code over the server, run the automation testing and generate the reports. And after the reports will be generated, it will be deployed.